I'm Scott.
I'm Kara.
I'm Nina.
Rachel.
Christina.
Kendall.
What's up? Sorry that was weird, but we're going to go ahead and get started with our presentation. So, last January, it was my grandfather's 90th birthday, and he lives in Kansas, and the rest of my family, we live in San Antonio. So the plan was we would all get in the car, and we would drive up there, and we'd throw this big, huge celebration for his 90th birthday party. Everybody was really excited for it, and then the week came, and I did not feel great, and I was sad. So I went to the doctor and was like, yo, I think I have a sinus infection. And then the doctor came back in the room, and he said, you don't have a sinus infection, you have the flu. So that was disappointing because I had to sit there at home while all my family was up in Kansas celebrating my grandpa's 90th birthday. Had I gotten the flu vaccination and taken responsibility to do that, I may not have missed that important day in my grandfather's life and with the rest of my family. And so that's sad, and that's why we're trying to get people to think about flu shots and think about self-responsibility and what they can do to help prevent themselves from the flu. The Center for Disease and Control estimated that in 2018 and 19 flu season, 35.5 million people were infected by the flu, and 34,200 deaths occurred because of the flu. Also, according to the CDC and the U.S. Census Bureau, only 50% of Americans received a vaccine this season. So these numbers are really high, and we looked at them and we did a little bit more research, and we decided that this is something we wanted to tackle as a group. So we limited our target audience to Lamar students because we felt like we could impact them more than we could the general public. And that's really what we're presenting today. We're presenting all our research that we did, all of our planning that we did, all of the event, everything that we put together for this campaign to help raise awareness about the flu vaccination and vaccines in general. So I hope you enjoy. Next is Kara, who is going to talk for a little bit to you.
Thank you, Scott. Hello, Professor. So I'm going to be telling you about the action statement and how we are going to be targeting the Lamar students. So our action statement goes into detail about how do we inform the Lamar students of the safety and efficacy of the flu vaccination. So as I finish off in a few minutes, everybody else is pretty much going to tell you how that's going to happen, and we've already seen it in the concept paper. But let me go ahead and tell you some of the terms that we're going to be talking about today. So the first one, of course, is the influenza, that's basically what we're talking about. Vaccines, advocacy, efficacy, safety, herd community / immunity, Center for Disease Control, vaccine reaction, and then viruses, pathogens, antigens, and immune systems. So I hope you enjoy the rest of it, and now I'm going to hand it off to Rachel.
To Christina.
Yes, actually it's me. Hi, Dr. Hauser. I'm Christina, and I'm going to talk about the nature of the problem. And basically, the core problem in vaccine hesitancy is a lack of education and too much misinformation. Misinformation spread widely on social media has caused a lot of people to fear vaccines, to distrust them. Some people even don't vaccinate altogether. And this has caused an outbreak in Samoa where misinformation and fear caused people to stop vaccinating. The rates plummeted to 30%. An outbreak happened. I think 81 children died in the outbreak. But then when they started vaccinating again, the rates reached 90% and herd immunity happened, which is when enough people get vaccinated that the community, even the younger babies who can't get vaccinated, are protected. Once that happened, the outbreak ended. So flu vaccine does have one of the lowest efficacy rates. Only about 30% effectiveness was for last year, but that's still, if everyone gets vaccinated up to 90%, that would be a huge portion of the population that would be protected from the flu, versus right now we only have about 50% of Americans vaccinated, so we still have outbreaks all the time, and this has actually been one of the most active years in a while. So college campuses are a perfect environment for the flu to spread. And 70% of college students think it's important to get the flu vaccine, but only 46% say they actually get it. And if you do get the flu vaccine, healthy people can still die from the flu. So if you do get it, I think 80% of the people who are vaccinated are protected from having to be admitted to the ICU and having severe symptoms. So nature of the problem is wide, but here on campus, we have access to students who understand the importance of getting vaccinated. So we think it's important to start spreading the message here in a localized way, and hopefully they can spread it to their friends and we can see higher rates in America and have a healthier population. So for the next part, I will hand it over to Nina.
Hi, I'm Nina, and I'm going to be talking about criteria for evaluation of effective solutions, what we came up with. And we want to educate students at Lamar with scientific data to remove the stigma misinformation has caused for flu vaccines, which a lot of students I think is misinformed about the effects that flu vaccines can have on their body, since a lot of people think it's just, oh, they're injecting a virus into me, so I might have the flu itself. The second one is to increase the awareness of the danger of the flu and importance and efficiency of simple preventative healthy habits. We want the people to know how easily flu is spread through just your touch, and then like coughing, sneezing without covering your hands. That's why we wanted to like highlight that hand sanitizer is really important, and washing your hands after you use the bathroom, especially on campus, is also very crucial. Also, we want to increase flu vaccination rates at Lamar University, since we have a health center that provides flu shots. Actually, it's really low cost for students at Lamar. We wanted to increase the rates that are really minimal right now. What is stopping us to measure the efficiency of this is time, because time is a constraint for us. This is an 8-week class, so we don't really have enough time to measure all the data and find out everything in detail. But the most efficient method of education on vaccines is definitely social media campaigns for us, and the physical table with hand sanitizer and information on education on flu vaccines that we did in front of the communication building, and we handed out wet wipes and hand sanitizer with the flyers about how students at Lamar can get a flu shot at health center, and just education about it in general. And now I'm going to hand it off to Rachel.
Hi, Dr. Hauser. So what I'm going to talk about is the possible solutions that we came up with for trying to, tackling this problem. So our goal was to educate the college campus in the most, easiest way possible. We rejected these particular solutions due to financial and logistic and time constraints. So the first one that we really got excited about, but we realized logistically and because of time, it would not be the best possible solution, was marketing materials. We even had a little phrase, know about the flu, don't be gross at LU. However, because of time constraints, we weren't able to, and financial constraints, we weren't able to get things like hand sanitizer, chapstick, pens, wet wipes. But we thought that more students would more likely accept the information with some sort of an incentive. Free stuff is always a huge thing, especially with college students. Another thing that we really got excited about was a media campaign and doing PSAs with, say, like LUTV. We have our own television program, news, and getting on social media and doing various kinds of PSAs there, even just simple videos of just expressing information about the problem. And another thing that we thought about was offering extra credits. Of course, we as students wouldn't be able to do that, but maybe talking to several different Comm professors in the department a lot of students, most of the students on campus have interaction with the Comm building because a lot of the basic classes are communication classes. So everyone has to come to the Comm building at some point or other, no matter what major you are. So it would have been easy for Comm professors to offer an incentive of extra points or whatever for getting your flu shot or for bringing a flyer from the table that we had or something like that. It also would provide them the students the opportunity to interact with health staff at the student health center, and so that can promote other healthy habits that could help them. And then speaking of the health center, we also wanted to partner with the health center and promote their flu shot clinic. However, they started in October of last year, so that didn't get to play out as much. And hand out further health info from them. They often have tables out in the set or over by the dining hall. So, and we were kind of at the prime spot to do that, which leads me to our solutions that we actually got to do. And the first one was launch a social media campaign. We were only able to do it within the confines of the Comm department, but we created infographics and little myth-busting slides that allowed us to reach the Lamar Comm public. And then we teamed up with their Instagram posts and went ahead and posted them there with hashtags and stuff for search engine generation. And it's free and it was easy and it was something that we could easily do. And then the next thing was we hosted an info booth and handed out wet wipes and hand sanitizer squirts and flyers. In a prime location, the Comm department is right between the set and the dining hall, so it was super easy to just catch people on the way to the dining hall or on the way to the set for lunch. In a prime location and right in between classes whenever lunchtime was happening. And an easy way just to hand out info was it encompassed our financial and logistical limitations, and so it was super easy for us to just do that. And then we also posted informational flyers on campus. And like I said, the Comm building is such a widely used building because all majors have to come into Comm building at some point. So we posted informational flyers in the bathroom, in the lounge areas, on the bulletin boards, where we were sure people would see them. And it wasn't just information about the flu vaccination, but about flu prevention, such as common hygiene habits. And then we also handed out and posted health center informational flyers about the flu vaccine cost, appointment procedure, and what to expect, so that students, if they did choose to get the flu vaccine, they were able to actually know what was going to happen. So next, Christina is going to come back and she's going to talk about how we implemented our best solutions.
All right, so we talked about the nature of the problem, which is lack of information and lack of education. So the implementation was everything that Rachel just mentioned. On February 26th, we launched our social media campaign through the communication department's Instagram and Facebook, and then all of the members shared it on their personal Facebook and Instagram accounts. I think it's still running. I don't know if people are still sharing it, but at least we got a lot of eyes on it, and the infographics are beautiful, thanks to Rachel. So that was really cool. And then also on the 26th, like Rachel said, we had the informational booth from 12:15 to 12:45, which was high traffic times. We had 150 hand sanitizer wipes and 150 informational flyers, and we gave them out very quickly. Students were appreciative, they were excited. We were telling everyone to wash their hands, and everyone agreed, so it was well received on campus. And then we also posted in the bathrooms our flyers. We posted them on the bulletin boards throughout the Comm building, in the Comm lounge on tables where students have magazines and books, on the windows of the Comm lounge. where else? There's little tables throughout the building that we posted the flyers. We posted them on February 26th, and they're still there. I see them every time I come to campus, and it's really cool to see our work in action. And that is pretty much it for implementation. So now we will go to Kendall.
Hi, Dr. Hauser. I'm Kendall, and I'll talk about the evaluation and the conclusion. So, as they previously mentioned, our social media campaign and our tabling was a success, but now I'm going to crunch some numbers for you. So, as I mentioned, we had 3 graphics created, and then over the 2 days, we received 16 likes, 1 comment, 2 profile visits. But the big number, which is very shocking for how short of a timeline we had, was 191 people were reached, which is fantastic. These, as Christina mentioned, these flyers are hung all over the building, which is very nice because we have about 280 students registered here in the communications department for Lamar. So that's not a small number. So hopefully, one of these flyers makes a difference to somebody. Along with just seeing somebody else practice by washing their hands, maybe a few more times than they usually do, or carrying hand sanitizer, or even offering it in class. I know I've done that a few times. I carry a little bottle with me, or I'll be like, hey, you want some hand sanitizer if I'm getting mine out too. So most people learn through practice and through seeing other people and mimicking them. So hopefully that's encouraging people to do some more. Like they mentioned for the tabling event, we did it during the lunch rush or the highest traffic area for the communications building, which is the center of campus. So, and that's where they were talking about people coming from the dorms, people coming from the set, people going to lunch, all of that stuff. We also, we were very surprised at how quick we ran out of supplies. Of course, with tabling, you get some people who are like, no, that's okay. But then there were a lot of people who were like, oh, okay. Especially since, like Christina said, this is one of the highest years that the flu has been, out there getting people. And now with the new coronavirus outbreak, it's even worse. So now we're going to talk about our conclusion a little bit. So did we achieve our goal on informing the public about influenza? I think we did. The social media campaign, the flyers we hung up, the tabling, even our paper, just talking, face to face with people. I know we'd stopped, our advisor and some of our professors were kind of asking, and we even actually had a professor tell us that he got his flu vaccination because of our group and because we were talking to him about it. So, which is really awesome because that's kind of like we're seeing the difference that we're trying to make. How can we continue to encourage society to practice healthy habits? Just washing your hands. Like we said, we came up with hashtags like wash your hands, don't be gross, protect LU, protect everybody because this illness is getting people and it's really bad. How can healthy habits and information be applied to the new coronavirus? It's the same thing. The coronavirus shows the same symptoms as the flu, or if you just have a common cold. So it's by the same healthy practices of washing your hands. And not only washing your hands, but also in between applying hand sanitizer. Because you can't just apply hand sanitizer as a form of washing your hands. You need to physically wash your hands for about 20 seconds, they say at least, to kill most of the germs. So then our final question is, do you have your flu shot and will you continue to get it in the future? That is the end of our group.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. That was good.